Once upon a time, in a big green forest, there was a fox named Freddy. Freddy was known for his beautiful, long tail, which he loved to swish around. All the animals admired Freddy's tail, and he was quite proud of it. Every day, he would prance through the forest, showing off his magnificent tail to anyone who would look. One sunny morning, as Freddy was walking near a river, he saw something shiny on the other side. His curiosity got the best of him, and he thought to himself, "I wonder what that shiny thing could be. I must have it." Without thinking, Freddy leaped into the river to swim across. But the river was strong, and Freddy found himself swept away by the current. He struggled and tried to swim, but the water was too powerful. Finally, Freddy managed to pull himself out of the river, but as he shook off the water, he felt something different. When he looked back, he gasped in horror. His beautiful tail was gone. The river had taken it away, and now, Freddy was a fox with no tail. He felt embarrassed and sad. "Oh, how will I face my friends without my lovely tail?" he whispered. Freddy decided he would need to be brave. He took a deep breath and began walking back into the forest, trying to hold his head up high. But the other animals noticed right away. The rabbits, birds, and even the little hedgehogs giggled and whispered as Freddy passed by. Just then, Freddy's friend, a clever little squirrel named Sandy, noticed his friend's sadness. Sandy climbed down from her tree and went up to Freddy. "What happened to your tail, Freddy?" Sandy asked kindly. Freddy sighed and told her the whole story. Sandy listened carefully, nodding as Freddy shared his sadness. "I don't feel like the same fox without my tail," Freddy said, looking down, but Sandy had an idea. She thought for a moment and then said, "Freddy, maybe you don't need a tail to be special. It's not your tail that made you brave enough to jump in the river. That was you. And maybe you can help other animals learn that they don't need to look perfect to feel proud." Freddy thought about what Sandy said, and he started to feel a little better. "Maybe you're right," he replied. Sandy smiled, knowing that Freddy was beginning to understand. The next day, Freddy gathered the animals around and told them what had happened. At first, they were surprised, but as Freddy spoke, he shared how brave he had been to jump into the river just because of his curiosity. He explained how losing his tail had taught him that true courage comes from inside, not from how he looked on the outside. As the days passed, the animals started to admire Freddy even more, not because of his tail, but because of his bravery and kindness. Freddy learned to walk proudly, tail or no tail, and became a friend to all who needed a bit of courage. And so, Freddy the Fox and Sandy the Squirrel taught the animals in the forest a valuable lesson. True beauty and courage come from within, and sometimes, we have to lose something to discover what truly matters. And they all lived happily ever after in the forest, knowing that their worth was more than what they looked like. The end.